Hey guys, welcome back. It's Lago Dragon Knight here, and this is going to be part 3 to What If Kurama Raised Naruto. Last time we left off, Kakashi walked in, and before I continue, guys, I'm going to be doing online classes for my school, so if I'm not able to make more videos, like as often as I used to, I apologize for that in the future. View goal, with that in mind, the view goal is going to be 50, while the like goal is going to be 8 for this video. And let's start off. Kakashi walks in, collects Naruto, Hinata, and Sasuke, and the things are basically the same as in canon, like their likes, dislikes, but at this point, a few things. One, Sasuke is more mature, and he still wants to take down Itachi, but he wants to bring him in for justice. Naruto still wants to become Hokage, but also wants to become a master, good clan head as the Uzumaki clan. And for Hinata, she doesn't have a stutter, and she wants still to unite the main house and branch house families. After that, Kakashi goes, well, Team 7 meet at training ground 7 at 7 a.m. Oh, and don't eat breakfast, you'll puke. And of course, since Naruto's already been a ninja, a genin, for like 4 years, he knows exactly how to call bull on Kakashi. Well, technically, yeah, 4 years. So, they go to Ichiraku Ramen, and they plan their strategy. Kakashi is shadowing them, and he's thinking in his head, with how these three act, they could probably be a new Sonic. Better than the old. Of course, in his mind, he's thinking, like, who would best fit, who would act like each Sonic. For example, Naruto, even though he wasn't dead of the class, he wasn't top of the class, but he graduated nonetheless as 4 years early. So he's thinking he could act like Jiraiya. And Hinata, in his mind, would also kind of act like Tsunade, but when he sees Sasuke and Orochimaru, like how they were, he just shakes his head thinking, nah, that wouldn't be. So they come up with this really amazing plan. And so we get to training ground 7. Team 7 ate their breakfast, and they didn't arrive till 9. So there's still an hour left before Kakashi would show up. While there, Naruto quickly makes 1,000 shadow clones, has them go off, but he's not using them for combat. You see, he's using them for a very special type of technique that he learned from his elements, that he learned from his summons. So an hour later, Kakashi goes up, and he do the bell test, but then Naruto points out saying, "Oh, so this is a test of teamwork. Okay, Kakashi, we need to work together, guys." And they both nod, and Kakashi's just grumbling, saying, "All right, Naruto, still, come take the bells, and come in with the intent to kill." So right away, a Sasuke jumps back while Hinata and Naruto go forward, getting into a taijutsu brawl with Kakashi. And honestly, Kakashi is thinking back in his head, was Hinata hiding her skills? Because the way she's moving, she should have been top Kunoichi of the year, not second to Sakura. But Kakashi long ago wanted to make this team, even though Kuronai wanted a tracking team. But this way, it still works with Sakura because of good chakra control. She can either be a medic or a genjutsu like Kuronai. So, Kakashi, she's, fighting, taking care of Naruto, and Hinata. Sasuke's in back, and he's flashing through hand signs. Now, this particular technique, Sasuke picked up from Naruto's library. In return, since Naruto and Sasuke are friends, Sasuke on a blank scroll written all the wind, lightning, and water jutsus that were in the Uchiha clan compound. Basically, the Uchiha clan, whenever during war, they see someone copy a technique, they write down in the scroll to keep in the clan library. So, essentially, Sasuke giving back Naruto some of his clan techniques because some of those were water style from the hidden whirlpool village. So Sasuke is flashing through hand sights rapidly. And then when he gets to the final hand sign, which is horse, course, he yells, Naruto, Hinata, get out of the way! And they quickly substitute, and Kakashi goes, getting his level can't do, and then Sasuke goes, it was collaboration style. Fire, lightning, fireball! Now, Kakashi is shocked at this for 3 reasons. 1, it's a collaboration jutsu. 2, a single person is performing it. And 3, it's combining fire and lightning, which is thought to be impossible. So as the fireball hits Kakashi, Kakashi substitutes out. Then Hinata gets in front of him and goes, and she goes, a trigram, 64 palms. And she's able to get a few of those chakra points, but Kakashi's still able to dodge. And then Naruto releases the clones, and then he runs forward, flashes through hand signs so fast Kakashi can't copy them. Then Naruto yells, what a style! What a shockwave! For the first one. And Kakashi's thinking, okay, good thing there's no water around here, otherwise that would be very bad. As he's mid-stop things when all of a sudden you see water being pulled out of the air. Yeah. And then Naruto flashes through hand signs fast again, and he goes, lightning style! Lightning panther! A panther made of pure white lightning comes forward, clashing towards Kakashi as well. And these both hit Kakashi. Now, Kakashi is severely winded at this point. He's not that down. But before Kakashi could do anything, all of a sudden you see Naruto pop out of the ground, and he goes, wind style. Wind prison. A prison made of wind. Kakashi says, very good, you 3, but you still have to get the bells. And then Hinata just holds up the 2 bells in her hand. And Kakashi looks down, and Kakashi goes, all right, you guys pass. And then after that, Naruto lets Kakashi out of the wind dome, but he is curious, so he asks Sasuke, how did you combine your fire and lightning element? Kakashi just blushes a bit, saying, well, I had a bit of help from Naruto. You see, we learned early on that I had fire and lightning, meaning that doesn't count my other element, which is weak right now. And that's Earth, which Kakashi is surprised at that. Right? And Kakashi takes the Moa Stone and says, those who break the rules are scum. That is true. But those who abandon their comrades are worse than scum. And those who tarnish their comrades' memory are even worse scum than that. The great white words of Kakashi Hatake. Now, you see Kakashi thinking that his team is so good that they could jump straight to C-rank missions. But Naruto brings this up saying, Kakashi, I have an idea how we do this. How about in the mornings we do 2 to 3 C-rank, 2 to 3 D-rank missions a day. And then during the afternoon, we train. And Kakashi nods, saying, alright, you 3 take the rest of the day off while I go inform the Hokage about the test. And Kakashi just leaves Shishuin to get away. And Naruto just groans. And Naruto looks at her boyfriend and asks, what is it, Naruto? And Naruto says, you think he would learn to use an elemental Shishuin by now. And of course, the Sasuke and Hinata just nod. And then they all Shishuin to Naruto's house. Sasuke fire Shishuin, Hinata lightning Shishuin, and Naruto a wind Shishuin. Unknown to the 3 of them, hiding in the shadows watching this, is a figure from one of the Summon clans, which is a toad. And the toad says, I must inform Lord Fugaku and Lady Shima. It seems Minato's son is more stronger than he thought, perhaps capable of learning sage training. And so, he just poofs away. But unbeknownst to him, there was someone else there as well. A member of the Lion Clan. And you see, the Lion Clan has been very observant of Naruto since practically been his silent guardian since Minato and Kushina had passed. And the lion that's thinking this, saying, I must inform Lord Mufasa of these developments, and that proves as well. Now we get to the Jonings informing who passed. When the Jonings get there, they're surprised to see Kakashi there so early. And Hiruzen says, "Alright, begin your reports. It's team 1 through 6 happens like canon." And when Kakashi's saying, Team 7 passed with flying colors. In fact, I would say that with just 2 months of training, they've been ready for the tuning exams. And at this, everyone's shocked because Kakashi's never had a team. Well, the only one he took in as apprentice as a getting for 4 years was Naruto. And even then, Kakashi really didn't lean on like heavy training with Naruto. All he did was taught him with basic strength training, stamina training, endurance training, and basic chakra control, because it wasn't allowed officially to do it unless he had a getting squad, which Naruto agreed which was the smart thing to do. So we get to Kunai. She says, Team 8 passed. They found me within an hour. You see, beforehand, it was 2 hours when Hinata was on the team, but since it was an hour because of Sakura, book smarts and all, but she says, but I'm going to need to train it. Kiba is arrogant, thinks himself highly. Sakura is too fangirly. And Shino, I think he's just a normal one on my team. Hiruzen nods. Hiruzen says, since Guy is still in charge of Team 9 from last year, we'll go on. Asuma steps up. He says, Team 10 passed with flying colors. I think that would be a really good tracking and interrogation and capture team. He nods. But then unexpectedly walks in Ibiki. Well, no wait, not Ibiki. Who would I say would be good? Oh yeah, Anko. And Anko says, asks Little Kage, pardon me for this interruption, but since the 3 teams of Clan Ayas are here, past, I was thinking maybe we could rotate it. Think of it like this way. Each week, we rotate to different sensei. Each 1 to 2 weeks, we rotate to one of the senseis, while keeping the main sensei out. Maybe that would be do good for some of them, and with different inputs on the styles. Of course, Hiruzen says, yes, thank you, Anko. Now, I take it here, you didn't just stop by to interrupt team placements. Anko just shakes his head, saying, when we finished our interrogation of Mizuki, Little Kage. Turns out he was trying to steal the sacred scroll for Orochimaru. Anko sits with venom. But she doesn't put her hand out to touch the curse mark. Because a year ago, Kakashi invited Naruto to hang out at a tavern that the Jonings and Chunings hang out in. Why? Because at that point, Naruto was basically tuning level, but he couldn't take an exam without a getting team. So while Naruto is seeing that, he felt something from Anko, because one of the things that Kurama taught him was to say negative emotions, so he sensed the curse mark. And since of all the things he studied from his parents' freeing jutsu library, he asked Kakashi and Anko to come over to his place the next day, because he had to prepare something. So they do that. They go down to one of the many rooms that has multiple seals all over the place, and Naruto says, alright, this is the best place to do it. Miss Anko, can you please remove your tag shirt? She just removes the tag shirt, and basically lifts her hair up, so Naruto can look at the curse mark. And Naruto just curses, says a little out loud while he sees it, and Anko asks, wow, Gaka, didn't think you could use that language. Well, and Naruto says, well, the reason is because I would either shake the hand of the person who made this, or seal the soul, give the soul to the Shinigami, and have him tortured for 1,000 years. And Kakashi asks why. And Naruto says, this curse seal, is basically holding a tiny fracture of a human soul. Not only that, but there's drugs inside the seal that is affecting the human body. Each time the seal is used, the person gets more addicted until finally it becomes a vessel for that shard, that little shard of the soul. And of course, Kakashi and Anko are shocked at this, and before Naruto can explain further, he hears a knock at his door. In comes the third. Kakashi goes upstairs to see who it is, and it's the third Hokage, Hayate. a Gecko, and Iruka. Kakashi, she asks what they're doing here, and Hiruzen reveals that Naruto asked us to come take a look at this. And they do, and they are in the chamber. Now Naruto does Shadow Clone Jutsu, makes 4 clones. Each clone is going through hand signs for each of the elements. Well, the main Naruto is going to the hand signs of the wind element. So finally, they each hold a different kanji, a symbol. Like for example, the Earth chakra. No wait, not Earth. His Naruto made his clones to gather chakra, but also to use his 3 elements. I don't know why I said 5 elements. I was thinking of different what if, guys. I apologize. So he does this Uzumaki Elemental Seal. Seal Destroyer. Basically, he just slaps his hand on where the question mark is, and it's slowly destroying it, which Anko's feeling the pain. At the same time, she feels warm chakra being put into a thing. One, 2 of the clones, ones that didn't disperse, were putting their hands on Anko and forcing medical chakra throughout her system as a pain reliever. So finally, Naruto removes his hand after what seems like an hour. In reality, it was just 10 minutes. And Anko didn't pass out, but when they looked, the curse seal is completely removed, and then Naruto's holding a little orb in his hand, saying, Anko, and Naruto brought up a mirror, saying, Anko, cause some pain to the orb. Anko does, and they just see in the mirror, Orochimaru just flinches. And whenever Anko was feeling crappy, she would just torture Orochimaru like that. But it wouldn't help the main Orochimaru that much, but just a little tiny shot of him, yeah, that would make Anko stay. So end of flashback. Hiruzen says those whose teams have failed are dismissed. Those who still have passed their teams stay here. And of course, that just leaves Kakashi, Kunai, and Asuma there. And Hiruzen reveals something shocking. In 8 months, we are going to be held the Chunin exams this year. It might be wise to train up your getting. Then he looks specifically at Kunai and Asuma, saying, you two especially, because out of the 9 rookie years, you two got the weakest. And at this, they're a little offended. And Hiruzen says, I don't mean that in terms of the skills. I mean that in pure chakra control and raw physical talent, which is why Kakashi's team is a heavy assault team. Alright, meeting adjourned. And so, flash forward to where Naruto is, because he went straight home afterwards. And Kurama, in Naruto's mind, asks, Naruto, why did you hold back? And Naruto says, well, I couldn't easily take him full on because I only had half my chakra at that moment. And Kurama raises an eyebrow saying, what did you do while I was asleep? That caused you only have half your chakra when you fight your sensei. And when Naruto just points out the door, Kurama takes on her human form, looks out, and is shocked, to say the very least. There's 1,000 clones in there, but every 100 are training different things. 100's doing tree walking, one's doing water walking, one's doing kunai balancing, one's doing the sticking the leaf to the forehead. But there was 100 clones that especially got Kurama's attention. These 100 were attempting to walk up a waterfall. Now, Naruto, even though Earth is in his element, and Fire is in his elements, he can still use jutsu from those elements, but they won't be super effective. Like, for example, he could use Earth style, Headhunter jutsu, go on the ground like a mole. He can still do the technique, but it won't be 100% effective. And while she can't see the other clones, but she can tell that they're practicing stuff very well. And then Kurama says, alright, Naruto, shall we go into the mindscape and continue training in there? Naruto nods. You see, the unique thing about the mindscape is an hour in the mindscape is a second in real life. So Naruto always refines his skills while meditating, while going into his mindscape. The furthest Naruto's gone is roughly 4 hours. Now, in the comments below, guys, if you can basically type how long Naruto is exactly in his mindscape for while melting for 4 hours, I will also be doing I also will be making a new series sooner rather than later. And if anyone can guess what that series involves, because it is a Naruto crossover, yes, but also combines something that I personally enjoy. Now, the 1 month before Land of Waves arc is different. See, not only are they doing 2 to 3 D ranks a day, but Naruto is also, like, on the side, is also sending his clones to do multiple D ranks, because, well, D ranks pay most of Naruto's stuff. But see, since Naruto doesn't actually have to pay rent, since he lives in his family's compound, he's saving that money up for something. And if anyone can take a wild guess, tier 3 categories to choose from: weapon, technique scroll that has techniques, or a specific, buying a specific place. If anyone can truly guess out of those 3 that Naruto's saving up his money for to get it, guys, I will also be, depends on who gets the closest, I will also let you guys guess, if he buys a certain place, what is the name of that specific place. If you can get that bonus, then you guys are really good. And just so you know, this specific place has the different members of this place, but each one has a different number, like for example 0 to 100. And with that, guys, I'm gonna end this video. I'll see you all next time, and may the force be with you, but also have a nice start to the new school year, guys. Peace out.